Welcome to Gaming Fin, your channel for everything related to the gaming industry and the financial markets. And today we're going to cover Atari. We will make an in-depth analysis here. I already prepared it for you, my friends, so we go through this. But before we jump into the in-depth analysis, we're going to have a look at this wonderful chart. So Atari is a latter if you want to buy it in France, or it's called Pong F if you are in the US. So first, before I'm continuing, disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment and information purposes only. Please, guys, this is a ultra high risk. Let's be honest. It's a high risk, an ultra high risk, very small company stock. Therefore, we going to check out what's about this Atari, because a lot of people talk about this, and I want to see what's actually behind the Atari hype. So I know Atari because I had a Atari personal computer back in the days. I like the Atari Jaguar. I like the Atari games, the arcades. I liked everything from Atari. So Atari kind of became cult. And but they managed it, and that's actually the good thing. Here we see some. Here the presentation, and you see some of the products. They managed actually to create Atari as, let's say, as some sort of the ultimative, very cool retro company. So they're producing those retro arcades. They produce the Atari VCS, the Pong tables. They make collections for consoles, for PC, with old Atari games, etc. And they're also actually investing in some newer products. So that's actually also good to see here. You can see the black walnut Atari. So it's more or less, it's not actually for young people, I would say. It's more for people that were growing up with Atari and they remember Atari. So it's more the generation from the 70s that was like 10, 12 years in the 80s and later. So it's for this generation. Let's be honest. So it's a bit a lifestyle product. So let's put this aside. Let's have a look at the chart. The chart is terrible. So you would say, look where they started. They started at like €4.35, and they had a little pump up to €10 then in 2009 with the stock. And then it just went down. So I guess within this time, a lot happened actually, probably with management and with other people that were in the company. But overall, the chart looks terrible, and that's therefore, and the volume is also very small. And therefore, I think it's very, very useful actually to cover this and see what is about this company. So here, the last 5 years in 2020, also profiting in 21 from a little pump. So. I don't like this. This looks not good. This looks like someone was really pumping this stock. And since then it just dropped like so badly. I remember actually in 2021 people were talking about this. You have to buy Atari. This is the next big company. And I always know Atari. So I know Atari. I like Atari. I like the brand. I like the franchise. I have very good memories. But when it comes to investing, you have to be a little bit more cautious. So about Atari, 50 years of Atari for investors. So they have an incredible good page, I have to say. The page is very well done. So you have you can here buy the PC console, the games. You can see what games they have. Vulgar is now part of Atari. Newsprint is part of Atari. Roller Coasters. So they really, I like that they bring some of the retro games. That's definitely cool. Also, they invested in Night Dive, or they were acquiring Night Dive, basically. So that's all of this is actually really cool. And then there's the shop, for example. You can buy Atari hardware, old hardware, and it's pretty pricey to buy this old Atari hardware. Look at this. €170 for the old Atari 7800. And the joystick. So it's very retro. It's for people that have everything and they just love to buy their old Atari hardware again. Then they have a lot of apparel, apparel and accessories. So you can buy some cool Atari t-shirts. You remember the band Atari Teenage, right? Very cool band. from Germany. They made some really, really cool techno back in the days. So all of this pretty cool, as you can see here. The fanny bag, look at the Atari fanny pack bag, fanny pack black. So now I have it all. That's actually pretty cool. So very much lifestyle, guys. So if you know Atari and you see other people that know Atari, everything's cool. So yeah, lifestyle is not bad, and I like this lifestyle element, and I like the shop, and I like the collections, I like all of this. So that's pretty cool. So it's pretty cool. So let's put this aside. So that's the chart. The question is now, just buy yourself a t-shirt or invest in the company and hope actually that you double your money, because then it would go to 20 cents. Is this actually possible? Is this possible that this company would double the money? Well, I mean, in February it was at 15 cents. And then it fell again to 10 cents. That means it lost like 50%. No, almost 40% of its value. Let's look at Mr. Orange. What I calculate 33% of the value. Man, Mr. Orange just start calculating. All right, so and then you go on the Atari investors page, my friends. This is also here. You see so much information, so much information. So half year 2024 for results. You can get here information about Atari. So it's very well done. It's very well done. So you in 2021 they made this incredible presentation. I just showed you already quickly. So and then for example the last report. This is the last report for 2024, fiscal year 2024, and I was. And now a disclaimer, I was using ChatGPT because I have the subscription for the very good version. That means I use this whole report. That's 132 pages. Therefore, disclaimer, I don't know if ChatGPT is doing everything correctly. So I don't take any responsibility. And also I don't take any responsibility for investing in Atari. So this is also information entertainment purposes only. But this whole report for the investors, this is the report for the investors. It's absolutely a high-level product, I have to admit. So it seems they want to sell you something if you get a report like this that's so high value. So you see a lot of work actually went into this report with a lot of pictures and a lot of other nice things. So all of this pretty cool. I mean, now you say, wow, Atari, this is going to be incredible good. The question is, are they making money? Do they have debt? So what is the income? What is the relation between debt and income? What are the liabilities? Why do they have convertible bonds? And do they have a cash flow? Do they have enough cash? How is the regulatory? What are the risks? What are the threats for investing here? So, I mean, look at this. It's an incredible big report. So I took all the most important information out of this, and this is now what we do, because I mean, let's remember, look at the chart. So you would think, I'm just investing now 100 euros and then I double my money. Yeah, this could be casino, this could be gambling, but I mean, maybe they go to 13, then you sell at 13 and you say, look, I made like almost 20%. So fine, but it can also go to 9. Is it going bankrupt? I mean, every company can go bankrupt. I also have to say this, and then the money is away. Now someone says, yeah, Mr. Orange, you invest in Ubisoft. Atari is so much better. Yeah, well, Atari is a cool company, a lifestyle company, a retro company, and that's the problem. It's a retro company, so it's not necessarily a company that makes incredible new AAA games, and they're just doing fine with it, because even those companies have problems right now. So it's a lifestyle company at this point. I mean, I have to say this. So, all right, guys. So with that, I would say let's get to my presentation. Here we go. So this is now the stock analysis of Atari based on the fiscal year 2024 information and the report I just showed you. So there's no financial advice, no responsibility for the correctness of the numbers. So AI helped me a little bit here. So debt level and liability. So Atari's financial debt has increased significantly. So listen, guys, the total financial debt stood at 44.2 million, up from 7.9 million in the fiscal year before. The increase is primarily due to the issuance of convertible bonds. Convertible bonds. So now you ask yourself, what is a convertible bond? A convertible bond is like a bond, but you can convert it at a certain point. You can convert it into a stock. So the coupons, so the interest rates that the Atari then is paying to the investor of the bonds is lower than in other bonds because the investor has the possibility to convert the bond into stocks when the price of the stock is rising. So then the investor gets the capital gain also from the rise of the stock price. So increase is primarily due to issuance of convertible bonds, 27 million. So that's convertible bonds. And loans received from Irata LLC for acquisitions such as Night Dive Studios. So Night Dive Studios, they're actually cool. They make the Turok games, so I like this. So guys, so financial debt is higher. It's substantially higher too, from 8 to 44. Additionally, short-term financial liabilities are also higher, with current financial debt at 5.3 million compared to 0.2 million, so 200,000 in last year. So this level of debt presents a risk to investors, especially considering the company's net loss. Risk, guys. So there's some risk. Let's keep this in mind. And yeah, risk if you have debt and you have net loss, and then yeah, that's definitely risky. So growth potential and future project, that's probably what everyone wants to know now. Atari's growth strategy is centered around expanding its intellectual property portfolio. You have seen the different titles, for example. So I'm, for example, hoping they bring a new Jaguar out. So this would be very cool. Acquisition and investments in digital assets and Web3 space. In fiscal year 24, Atari acquired 2 studios, Night Dive Studios and Digital Eclipse, to enhance its game development capabilities, especially in the remastering and publishing of retro games. This positions Atari to leverage its nostalgic brand value in modern markets, as I said, guys. So they're acquiring some other studios, and those studios are used to bring some old games back now to PC, to consoles, etc. So that's actually good. So I like this. That's just a retro market. But the question is, you have to ask yourself here, how big is the retro market? Is the retro market really a market that you can actually cash in so much if you bring those games back? So that's always a question, especially with emulators, etc. So yeah, it's really questionable, but that's the growth potential. That's the project. So acquiring other companies is good. I mean, also making new games would be good, but yeah, using some old brands, why not? So all right, the company also continues to explore investments in new IPs and technologies, so that's very good to hear. Notably through partnerships with companies like TinyBuild. So TinyBuild is popular. They're also, I think, at the stock exchange, and new projects in its Atari X Web3 segment. So Atari is also positioning itself to benefit from licensing opportunities related to hardware and software distribution. So that's the business case very quickly. Guys, let's jump directly to revenue in income. That's very important. So Atari's revenue for the fiscal year 24 was 20.6 million, a significant increase from 10.1 million in the fiscal year before. And that's what I like. I mean, it's 100% up. However, despite this revenue growth, the company reported a substantial net loss of 13.5 million. Ooh, that's not good. Up from 9.5 million, which was also not good in the previous year. The increase in losses was mainly attributed to higher research and development costs, which increased to 12 million from 4.4 million. So what is this increasement? What is the research and development? So development, I understand, but what are they researching? So is this basically the programming of the games, I guess? And impairment charges on selected games. Here we go. Operating and financial performance. Operating loss. Atari's operating loss widened to 12.8 million from 8.5 million the fiscal year before. This reflects the company heavy investment in game development, which may take time to yield returns. Game development, yeah, new games, old games, I like that. But operating loss is never so good. Cost of debt. The cost of debt for fiscal year 24 amounted to 700,000 euros, driven by interest on the convertible bonds and shareholder loans. So I talked already about the convertible bonds. Cash flow. The company's cash flow from operations was negative. So negative cash flow, not good. Though this was an improvement compared to the previous year. So cash flow is getting a little bit better, but it's still negative. I mean, if you remember the chart, this company is not just exists since yesterday. It's a 50-year-old company, but the new Atari in the form it is now obviously doesn't exist so long, but still we want to see some progress here. Risk and liquidity concerns. Atari's liquidity risk is moderate to high, as indicated by its negative net debt position of 41.6 million. With rising debt, especially through convertible bonds, Atari's future financial stability depends on its ability to generate sufficient revenue from its projects and acquisitions. So that's the whole risk problem with Atari. Investment outlook. From an investor's perspective, Atari represents both opportunities and risks, and I want to underline risks. Opportunities: Atari's focus on retro gaming and its investment in growing its IP portfolio through acquisitions are promising for the future growth. Indeed, the shift towards digital and Web3 spaces, while speculative, could provide long-term long-term benefits if these markets continue to develop. Risks: high debt levels, ongoing operational losses, and uncertain returns on investment in new technologies and acquisitions make Atari a risky investment, guys. Keep this in mind. Risky investment. So I want to make this red here. Investors should consider the company's capacity to manage its liabilities and the competitive nature of the gaming industry in general. And I mean, look at other companies, what problems they have. Yeah, that's really the problem, my friends. So the competition in the gaming industry right now, we've seen so many studios had to let people go. We saw so many studios that are actually going to be dissolved. So that's a real issue at the moment. So considering this competition, my friends, and investing actually in retro games and lifestyle retro games, I'm not saying they're not going to sell some products, but is it a good investment? Very difficult to answer, my friends. So, summary: Atari's financial reflects a company in the middle of a strategic transformation. While there is potential for growth through acquisitions and new ventures, the company's rising debt and continued operating losses present risks that investors should carefully consider, guys. So, very good. I really like the summary, and ChatGPT AI helped me to take this out of their report that we see here. So that's the report. It's a very good analysis. So I don't take any responsibility for the numbers that the AI was taking out of this report. It's a very long report. So if you want to invest a lot of money, of course, read the report. Before you invest anyways, so do your own research, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, and the AI is not a financial advisor. So this is for information entertainment purposes only. So when you look at this Atari and your heart is opening up and you get happy, you get those warm feelings, then probably you should get yourself a t-shirt. So I would say get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself an Atari mug and some Atari products. That's maybe a very good point. So investing in Atari, honestly, guys, I'm not excluding that you can make some short-term trades and make some money with it. But I'm a bit reluctant for the long term. Honestly, I have to say this. All right, guys. So if you like this new format here, with those summaries, with those PowerPoint summaries, to call it like this, with those presentations, then please tell it to me. Write it in the commentary section. I need your feedback. And then I can do similar videos actually on other companies, other gaming companies. So I think Atari was a very good one for this, because it's this incredible long report, and it's very difficult actually to get here some numbers on Google Finance for this. So thank you very much for watching. See you the next time. Bye bye.